Junior's my BFF. This is what happens when you hang out with him too long. All right.
Ruby dough.
There we go.
My favorite soundtrack of the Xenosaga. My favorite.
I have this on my phone.
Hey, by the way, did you know that the person who's doing the music, that did the music for Xenosagas, is actually doing the music for Final Fantasy 15?
Yuki's doing it? Yuki or Mitsura?
Yuki.
Yuki Gajira.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to play that.
I don't want to buy a PS4.
We love Yuki.
Me too. I can never remember the Black Testament's name.
Eric.
What?
His name is not Carl.
What was the Black Testament's name?
Eric Weber. Xenosaga running through your veins. So let's get started now, for real. Like, now, finally, like 10 minutes later.
Okay.
Alright, welcome. We are set up our panel, so it's can be either catered to people who have no idea what we're talking about or people who know it all already. So
It sounds like a lot of you.
the reason it sounds like a lot of you know already, but we're gonna take a poll just to be sure. So how many of you are really familiar with Xenosaga? Oh my god, we're like evenly divided in half. Wow, look at that. That's good. This is going to be a little different than Acen. And you ran this at Acen. I don't know if any of you were here. There was very much a crowd of people who already knew it. So we very much were a discussion panel. So this is going to be kind of half discussion and kind of information.
So let's avoid the big spoilers.
Avoiding big spoilers. If there are any big ones that we want to talk about, we will announce them very loudly beforehand. So anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled will be spared.
Virgil is best like playable character.
Virgil. Oh, I forgot you can play as him at the beginning in episode 1.
Yeah, you forgot
Yeah,
that.
right.
Why did they switch?
All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get down to business.
Why in the anime did they switch Virgil for a train cough? Like,
Because the anime was on crack.
Makes no sense.
that makes no sense at all.
Let's not talk about the anime. The anime.
No.
Yeah, it didn't happen. It did not happen.
What anime?
What anime? Yes, this is video games. We are talking about video games, not an anime. It is a trilogy of JRPGs, plus one, including Pied Piper.
Which is beautiful.
Which was released from 2002 to 2006, so they're kind of getting a little old. Originally had 6 games planned, but it was cut short. It was supposed to be an epic spanning from the beginning of the universe to the end of our universe, which is a pretty cool idea, but really what we got was just as awesome. So, it's sad, but don't be too sad.
Blame it on the PS4 at the top. No, not PS4.
PS3.
It was overpriced, and they were scared of that.
No, that's possible, yeah.
That was part of the reason.
There's one cell phone game, which is the plus one. It's called Pied Piper. We'll talk about that later. It's between episodes 1 and 2. It's very, very important. It was never released in America, though. So it was basically there's a translation of it up online that you read, and it's great though. And there's one DS remake that was quickly 1 and 2 kind of like squished together, and that's
I
pretty
had
cool.
this weird kind of reorders.
Yeah, it's kind of
It
bizarre.
revealed some things earlier.
Doesn't it add in the
Yeah.
100 series your alien from the anime too or something?
Yeah, it does, which is
You
like,
get to
I don't
name her
want
too.
anything with the anime involved. Give me anime, how to play
You
Xenosaga.
get to name your 100 series. It's kind of cute.
Okay, a lot of you will probably already know, so what is it about? What is Xenosaga? It is a sci-fi epic, a space opera, essentially. It takes place way far, far, far in the future, like 4,000 years, like over 4,000 years into the future. There's a lot of philosophy and religious imagery thrown in. A lot of that.
There is.
Pissed off a lot of people.
It pissed me off.
Best games always do piss off.
Yeah, yes, true art makes someone angry.
Well, I'm a big Christian. I didn't even care.
Yeah, a lot of people, I talked to a lot of people who said similar things, so, yeah. So humanity, like, exists far out away from Earth, and Earth is now called Lost Jerusalem. See, already got some religious imagery right off the bat. And we're basically alone in the universe. We haven't really found any, like, alien life, except for these things called the Gnosis, which keep appearing. But they're, like, don't seem to be sentient. They just seem to just, they're monsters that just destroy everything.
They're not exactly.
They're made of salt and rejection. They're not actually aliens, and you quickly find that out. But like right off the bat, that's what like the general humanity is believing in this Gnosis of these aliens that are ruining everything. And in case you're wondering why we left Earth, that gold thing up in the corner, the Zohar.
It's a little bit important.
Yeah, it's a little bit important. It was this thing that was excavated at Lake Turkana, right?
Lake Turkana.
Lake Turkana.
Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya. In 20XX, so it's coming, guys. And it was excavated. It's like a massive source of power. They were doing experiments on it and made, well, later they made emulators to try and control it. But it made Earth disappear. So we were kind of had to fuck off from there.
So every time that they do experiments with it, more bad stuff happens, and they keep experimenting with it. Why?
Because it's essentially a limited power source, and humanity has always had interest with
Because
that.
they're humans and humans do stupid things.
Thank you. That is literally the best way to put it. Humans do stupid things.
And then they put Junior in charge of the Zohar.
Oh, dude, Junior, he's older than he looks.
When it causes the disappearance of our home world, that's kind of a big indicator that you really shouldn't mess with this.
Yeah, except for the fact that, like, yes, right away, yes, but it also disappeared because it was kind of like floating around for a while. But humanity kind of like Lost Jerusalem Earth era became very much like soaked in mythology. Like humanity in between the time that they like left Earth kind of got really separated from that, I guess you could say. Like time and just distance and then like all that crap that happened sort of gave humanity, got them a little lost. But I mean, yes.
Hey, wasn't Wilhelm alive during the time that they actually
Yes.
did the first step?
Wilhelm has always
It
existed.
was Vector excavating.
Yeah, Vector excavated it. But
Probably
that's stuff later. Hey, I bet even the people here know Cosmos, even who haven't played
Most
it.
people have seen Cosmos.
Most people have.
Cosmos.
She's kind of the game's golden girl.
Magic Cross Zone.
But she is really great. She's Xenosaga's legacy at this point, and that's great. But unfortunately, she's mostly just loved for her appearance, which is really unfortunate because she's a really great character, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people, even in the fandom, don't even get to appreciate her character because she's just got so like got this like sexualized bad rap and everything else, and it's really unfortunate because she's so great. I love her so much. So much. So much. Yeah, I love her so much. So that's kind of something to pay attention to, is that this game's a lot more than just
Kevin
Cosmos.
at? Where's Kevin?
Kevin. I left him.
You left him for Alan.
Or for Cosmos.
You left Alan for Cosmos.
Yes!
What secret programming in Cosmos you don't want anybody to know about?
What are you ever talking about? But this is really complicated. I think that's something that even people who have already played it can appreciate it. You have to play through this game so many times to really get everything.
Two in-game database.
So people who are just getting into this, fair warning, it is complicated. You are going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to do like read the database. It's long. It's crazy. It's a paraphrase from another PowerPoint of mine.
It's really worth it.
All the cutscenes are
What?
7 hours.
Go back.
I know. And I thought Metal Gear Solid had cutscenes that were long.
There we go. What the fuck is all of this? You've got like these are all the This is a character chart. That's not even all the characters. That's just a character chart for one portion of the game. We've got like setup of the universe there, like how this game universe is set up. Zarathustra over there for people who do know it, which I can't even begin to explain for people who haven't. It's really complicated.
Did you know that Telos was actually like the Telos project was just in episode 1?
Yes.
When you actually go
Junior
aboard the U-Take ship.
U-Take ship.
Yep, you find
The Telos parts on
The first
yeah,
time through, I was like,
there's a lot of foreshadowing.
You're in episode 3.
Yeah, and you're like,
I didn't notice it until my third time
That's
playing
the
through it.
sound
I didn't
song.
notice it until my third time playing through it.
You haven't mentioned the Wii game that's sitting on the desk over there.
Oh, we're not really going to talk about Xenoblade.
It's
because not really connected to Xenosaga.
Xenogears is kind of connected.
We're actually going to talk about Xenogears.
But it's by the same guy, so.
But we'll get to Xenogears in a second. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But for those of you who are just getting into this, and for those of you who maybe not have taken a closer look at the game, why is it so special? There's a lot of things. So my big points I decided were women, diversity, plot, characters, and a unique atmosphere. Basically, this is why this isn't just some other RPG. This is really something special and different.
It is.
I mean, it's got a very, we've already covered how complex the plot is and how, like, it's a lot of philosophy and religious imagery, a lot of existentialism. That's a big thing in the games. So there's all that. I already covered that. The characters are all really, like, deep and complex, and they have, like, they were, like, created using, like, actual psychology and really well thought out, way beyond what you'll see in, like, a Final Fantasy game. But I think the big thing that I really want to talk about is the women in this game.
Yeah.
It is a female-driven story, largely. You have the main character is a woman. Cosmos is essentially the secondary main character. She's a female android, and she's basically the most powerful being in the universe.
You know the main character of the sex game.
Chaos is
People
pretty
say
enough.
that, but she actually had a lot to do with the
Chaos
second
is
game,
pretty
too.
enough to be a woman.
But,
Second game one?
It's Ritz a mankini.
yes, he has a mankini and
So does
three.
Vicky.
And he has booty shorts, so...
Shorts Jesus.
Booty shorts, Jesus. But you just have a lot of female characters, and they're all very different.
Even the minor characters.
Even the minor
Lapis
characters.
Roman.
They're varied, they're strong in all sorts of different ways. They're not just like cardboard cutouts of one another. They're very... Shion is just such a great character. A lot of them have roles or traits that are usually assigned to like men video games, but they also have feminine ones. It's just really great in that sense, and there ends up being a lot of feminist themes too at the end of episode 3, which I personally really got invested in, and it's just a really, really great game in terms of that, and that's probably the big one of this. But there's also like a lot, not a whole bunch, I mean it's not like everywhere, but there's a lot more people of color in the game than a lot of RPGs. And like Middle Eastern people actually have brown skin, which is wow. There's canonically queer characters, disabled characters, and more. It's just really great, and the unique atmosphere of it too, with the sci-fi and the religious imagery is blended really, really nicely. So hopefully that piques some of your interest. All right. Isn't this the Xenogears prequel?
Oh boy.
Babe!
No, it's not. In short, I'm sorry. It's really not.
I heard it was originally, but
No.
it diverged that way.
No.
Oh, it's from
No.
the same guys pretty much.
No, it was never same people, but it is not.
Actions, there's like references.
Then why
We're gonna talk about it.
episode 3?
The reason they couldn't be it couldn't actually be a sequel to it was because Xenogears was developed by Squaresoft.
That was part of it, but they also just wanted to reimagine it. And that's
Xenogears was made by the Xenosaga was made by Namco.
yeah, there was like legal things going on, but basically what it is that it's supposed to just be kind of like a reimagining of the Xenogears universe. They're not connected in any way. They're not the same universe. They're not supposed to be like representing. I mean, there are parallels. There are references and shout-outs. The universe structure is basically the same, and there's a prevalence of religious imagery and philosophy. So there's some similar themes and stuff like that, but it is not actually connected to Xenogears. It never was
You can
supposed
look
to
at the
be.
dates. And
If you look at the timeline, they conflict. They're not connected. But if you like Xenogears, I can probably guarantee that you like Xenosaga.
I love Xenogears.
I love Xenogears, but I went to Xenosaga with the premise like, oh man, this could be Xenogears, this could be Xenogears 2 or the prequel. I was like, it's still fine. I was still okay with it.
I think the big thing that Xenosaga really does better than Xenogears is that Xenogears was like the most sexist piece of trash I've ever played. I love Xenogears, but I also hate it. It's a complicated relationship.
What, mate? What's her name?
Xenosaga is basically all those ideas that you saw in Gears done again and done better and clearer, I feel like. But that's just my opinion there. But basically what I'm trying to get at here is that they are related but not directly connected. So yeah,
There's some
They
nice
could take
Yeah.
place in separate universes.
I can
still be in
dream.
the same
People
multiverse.
can dream.
oh yeah, because the multiverse is canon in Xenosaga. So yes, but if that's true, we're technically in the Xenosaga universe because if the multiverse theory is true, there's a universe out there where Xenosaga is happening right now. Think about that if you go to
Someone activated the Zohar. We're all gonna die.
Anyway, this isn't your panel gears. Sorry, that's another day.
No.
Sorry guys. I'm sorry if you're here for Xenogears, but we're talking about Xenosaga here. Maybe one day we'll do a Xenogears panel. You know, I have a Billy cosplay, I might. So, yeah. Moving on. Sorry guys. Let's talk about the Gnosis, which I mentioned earlier. Don't look at the crotch. Just don't look at the crotch.
Crotch?
So this kind of what are you guys nervous about over there? Oh, I have a picture of the dick Gnosis, the ones with the giant dongs.
Oh god.
The giant wobbly dongs. They're more serious.
Panel.
Anyway.
No children in here.
Yeah.
All over 18, right?
They all over
Are you
18.
gonna start parties?
We're all good. I can get rid of the card for this panel. I've already sworn up a storm. I'm sorry.
Because you're hanging out with Junior.
Junior's my BFF. I can't help
My
it.
dear son.
You don't love him at all. But anyway, the Gnosis are kind of the main antagonist at the very beginning of the game, and they're definitely a threat throughout the whole thing. But it very quickly becomes apparent that there's more to it than just the Gnosis. Their monsters are like this in a dimension separate than ours, so they have to be brought into our space using the Hilbert effect or the DSSS system, which is only talked about once, and I can't believe you remembered it that one time.
I know, I'm like, how did that
DSSS system. What's
It's used by the
Wouldn't it
Yanks
like the
to fight
phase
the-
jump into like our world or something?
Yeah, it's like a very short distance Hilbert effect that the eggs use to fight. But it's only like the
It's
one.
in like the wobbly neck part.
Well, Cosmos' Hilbert effect like spreads out over a large range, and you can keep them in there like multiple at a
I
time.
love the X-Buster.
X-Buster
Me
is
too.
lovely, especially not the single one.
I don't want to know
G-shot. G-string shot, as I call it.
Anyway, they're in a variety of forms, usually named after mythical creatures. They've always existed, but certain phenomena. Oh, welcome,
Hey,
Grace!
Toho, it's cool.
They act. They don't act so much malevolently as randomly. They just kind of attack things that are there. They don't have like really a sense of direction or self. They're just kind of like instinctual creatures, really. So people think they're aliens, but if a person touches a Gnosis, they either turn to salt or they become a Gnosis themselves.
Unless you're Shield.
So, unless you're Shield.
Or chaos.
Well, Chaos is an outlier. He's not human. Hey! Hi, Kat! Sorry. Say hi to friends. But anyway, so that kind of implies that they're maybe not aliens.